Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or dead night for some of you. This is September 7th, 2025, and we are here for the Italian Grand Prix. This is the Rated 6 channel, and this is Crash with you live with our coverage. Starting our coverage for the Grand Prix. We're about 5.5 minutes. You know, 5.5 minutes before we get going. Looking right now. Well, sadly, can only be here for that's 30 minutes, my friend. Again, it doesn't matter how long you stay. The fact that you were here is more that matters. Yeah. People are asking about risk of rain. Risk of rain for the race is 0%. So don't. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be nice all day long. It's going to be a good dry race. Thank everyone on YouTube right now. About 2,000 of you right now, and almost 300 likes. We're 15 away from that. 12 away from that now. Is that correct? Why is Lewis in 10th? So Lewis did qualify 5th. He has a 5 grid penalty from Zandvoort. So basically, during his reconnaissance laps, he failed to slow down sufficiently, as the stewards said in the race notes, and he was penalized. Pretty much it. It's from he got a penalty before the race and then got it after the race. If you wanted to talk about bad stewardship, that is a good example. We do have Max Verstappen on pole. Norris is on the front line with him. The next is Oscar and Leclerc, Russell and Antonelli, Bortolo and Alonso, and Sonoda and Hamilton round out those starting on the points. Bam is 11th, Hulkenberg is 12th. Sainz and Albon are on the next row. Ocon and Stroll next row. Colpino, Lawson, and Isaac and Gasly are going to be pit lane starts. There was one decision document last night about one of the cars. Basically, that was Gasly's car. They didn't cover it, and that was ultimately that basically ended up being them breaking Parc Ferme. I think those who are here right now, like over Vero, some Ackerman. I know Wolf was here earlier. People over in Twitch chat. Over in YouTube, I want to call out Paula. I want to call out. I know my IQ is here. Brian is here. Born is here. Andrew is here. Let's go through quickly. Shay is here. We've got some new. We got picked 15 new chatters in green. Again, these are people who are either been throwing support to the channel, or as like 15 of you yesterday received a gift subscription for the month. One of the benefits of being subscribed that way on YouTube is that you get a set of special emojis that are specific to the channel. And then those who stay with the channel month after month basically will get a free super chat as well. We are celebrating 4 years of F1 on the Race Statistics channel. Did start on another channel, our sister channel, Data Vitalized, but then we moved over to here, and we've have grown significantly since then. Again, we hit 150K, sorry, 145,000K subscribers yesterday. So thank you for that. Hi, Sarah. Again, yeah, Ryan has backed up from commentating. Basically, he won't be back this year, and he's needed time to step away from the sport. To be quite honest. He was here when Hulkenberg got his podium. He was here at the very last end of that race to celebrate with us. But for the most part, he's not following the sport as it is right now. And it's just a matter, it's life. Things happen. And he is graduating from school. Senior in college. So there's a lot going on. Yeah, we've got the Maxiteers in chat. Again, the Maxiteers is what we refer to our Max fans in chat here. They're very vocal. And we are about to start the formation lap. Getting our shot of the watch clock is now start is now the formation lap. They're now taken off. Let's see who else here. Lou is here. Again, I refer to the people in green as the family. You guys have been really important to us in the channel over these past few years. Again, everyone else who are part of the channel have subscribed. You basically the Race Statistic Army. Thank you so much. And then everyone else, you race fans, thank you for being here. Again, we are starting the formation lap right now. Max has just got into sector 2. Per rules, Isaac and Gasly have to come out for the formation lap. Even they are pit lane starts, so they will come out, do the formation lap, and then come right back into the pits. If NLE ruined other drivers like Max Leclerc, he would have to get one race ban. No, he wouldn't get one race ban. He would get penalty points, which would then, if he got enough of them, would turn into a race ban. We saw that last year with K-Mag, who did receive a race ban because he picked up so many penalty points. Who was a pit lane start? It's both Isaac Hajar and Pierre Gasly. Max did have a threat of a race ban earlier this year, but those again points on your license expire a year after you get them, and so Max managed to get through 2 more races and then more and a couple more. So basically, his penalty race is the points on his license have dropped off. Oh, they're telling Hulkenberg box to retire the car already. Hulkenberg is being told to retire his car. There's something wrong with it. Cyberblade's asking, is this real? Yes, it is. It is live and real. We are covering the race itself live. And Hulkenberg is returning to... Wow. So Hulkenberg has... Effectively is in the pits. It could be terminal if it's like a hydraulic issue or something. They found something wrong with the car. And they're working on it right away. He may come out later, but ultimately it's probably actually he's did not start. And the green flag is waving. And our lights are coming on. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing in Italy. Max has gotten a good jump ahead of everyone. He's neck and neck with Oscar. No, Norris. He's looks like a pie sandwich for one of you. And Max is going to go wide. Max had to go wide through the chicane. He's going to take a lead. Charles is going to get ahead of Oscar in that chaos. They're tight. Here comes Lando. He's coming up on the inside of Max again. And they're going to line up. so far clean lap with besides Max cutting the chicane. Charles and Oscar are neck and neck at the moment, and Oscar's going to get ahead of Charles. So it's again Max, Norris, Oscar, Leclerc back into the order. Russell, Alonso up 2 places. We've had Antonelli drop 4 places. Again, Norris is complaining about Max not giving him room, putting him into the grass, and then cutting the chicane. We are stretching out now. So we're getting into the line on our second, I think, the end of this lap on the back straight. We are now getting into a nice line between all the cars. We've got Lando making a move on Max and going ahead of him. We've got Oscar and Charles fighting. So Norris right now has leading. Max is second. Charles is going to get ahead of Oscar. They're side by side right now. And Charles is going to get ahead of Oscar. So we've got several places. Here comes Oscar was going to make a move. Charles defended. So Max is still. We got Norris leading now with a gap. We got Charles now moving on Max, and now and Oscar right behind him. That's one answer between Max and Norris. Review no further investigation. So they're going to read that as a racing incident and move on. They've spread out a little bit. Norris has gotten a good jump. He's over a second ahead. Leclerc is 1.6. Sorry, it's only. Sorry, I'm looking at the gap. It's only 0.6 to Leclerc to Verstappen and 0.5 to Oscar. Russell's half a second behind Oscar, and Borrell is 0.8. So they're starting to spread out. And there's a move from Oscar. He goes around the outside, goes on the inside to the switcheroo. Nope, no good. Leclerc defends. We're getting really good racing action in these early laps. People are really pushing each other and making overtakes, trying to make overtakes as well. And that's Borrell pushing on Russell, it looks like. Yeah. Or was that Alonso pushing Borrell? It's fights up and down this grid wherever you look at, kind of interesting. Well, Max was told to give the position to Lando. Yeah, given that he cut the chicane, he probably did, but he didn't make it easy for Lando. So Max and Lando are in their little world right now, and then Charles is leading basically the DRS train from everyone behind at the moment. Yeah, map is lagging today. Not sure what is going on, but it will sort itself. Usually, what happens is it sorts itself in about a minute or so. So just be. Why is the Leclerc defending? Because basically Oscar's trying to make a move on him. He's tried to take P3 from. So Leclerc has taken P3 from Leclerc. And one of the things that's going on right now is that Oscar is getting DRS on Leclerc, and Leclerc is not getting DRS. He's falling back out of DRS range to Max at the moment. You noted a Tsunoda Hamilton incident with one of them leaving the track and getting an advantage. And Max has gotten, I believe it's the lead again? No, Norris is still leading. Scared that Max rest. We wouldn't have to worry about that. Norris is first and Oscar is fourth right now. So Max has taken the lead again from Norris. He's got the fastest first sector on that last lap. He did a 123.5, where Norris did a 123.6, almost 1.7 difference between the two. Yeah, Red Bull's getting seems to have more straight line speed this weekend, and that's more in line with what we expected from the Ferraris. So it is official that Hulkenberg has retired. He has not come back out of the pits, and so they're going. That was a replay of the first lap, showing Max pushing Lando wide and then cutting the chicane to keep the lead. He would give the position back to Lando, but he's now retaken the position. Charles came up on Lando and Max, but couldn't. There was no room for him to do anything. Getting a view of the start from behind Max. Lando did come up on the inside. Oscar came up close on Max, but there was no room to get around him. Map is laggy, but it's improving. It's smoother now than it was from the start of the race. Chaos shot, good start. Those first 3 laps were really good. Fights everywhere. Fights in the top, in the top 4. Fights between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, all over the place. So you're expressing sadness for Hulkenberg. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That for Hulkenberg right now. Basically, Charles has been defending against Oscar, and so he hasn't had a chance to charge on to Norris. And the interval has fallen back 3.3 seconds. So again, Max and Norris are in their little world, and they've gotten away from the rest of the pack. Oscar making a move on Leclerc. An on-control incident forcing another driver off the track who was noted in turn 4. You can clearly see how mediocre the McLaren drivers are. That's not true. Oscar just got ahead of Leclerc. Norris was leading the race at one point. I think they're letting Max get ahead for right now. It's only 1.8. And that's basically to let Max use up his tires so that later in the stint, Norris can make a push on him. Hamilton up 3 positions. He's in P7 right now. He's past Antonelli, Tsunoda, and Alonso. And that's only with 7 laps to go. And that's something that to be expected. That was to be expected with Hamilton. I said that yesterday, that we would have seen a charge from Hamilton early on in this race. And that is typical. That is classic Hamilton at the moment. Will anyone make an undercut on Max or Lando? Not really sure. I don't. Someone is asking why they're saying they're deploying a medical person. I'm not sure why. That message has gone by, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what they were referring to. Again, you have to take some of the radio messages with a grain of salt, and that's because ultimately there are coded messages. They'll say something is happening, but it's not really happening, and it means something else. Also, they like to complain about their car over radio. Hamilton has gone ahead of Bordello. He's now P6. So he is 1.5 seconds back from Russell right now. So Hamilton on a it's hammer time right now for him. Isaac has just moved up past Colapino. Do you think Lawson's going for? Everyone's going for a one-stop dark. It's not just Lawson; it's everybody's going to be is trying. Maybe not Lawson, but everyone else is on a potential one-stop strategy. It's either hard, medium, or medium hards. Right now, Norris is not crying right now. He's in second. He's got more important things than to be worried about crying about things. So under investigation is Ocon and Stroll forcing another one off the track. Who did Nico take a selfie with and post today? You guys are talking about the Nico Rosberg curse. Now, they have not announced 5-second penalty as of yet. No, they have. Hasn't been shown on screen yet, but it will. There is a penalty for Ocon. Following along with Lance Stroll. So the 5-second penalty for Ocon for pushing. I don't know how that is a penalty for him. That's weird. I'm gonna have to go over that. It's a 5-second penalty for Ocon. Enjoy the meme while you have, everyone. We know the race where he took three penalties in a row. Max is leaving Lando behind. The gap has moved to 2.9. Some of the RB 21 fast. Yeah, one of the things they did is the wing that Max has some specific cuts in it to make it be faster, get more straight line speed. And they use this at excuse me. I forget the other. There's 2 tracks they use this at, and I want to say Monaco, but I think that's wrong. But the other track they'll use this wing at is Vegas, which has very long straights like Monza does. I think everyone who's here right now, we've got almost 100 in Twitch. That's a huge number already. And then we got 8,000 of you in YouTube. Thank you so much. Is your live timing's a little behind? Yeah, I think our timing board is lagging a little bit in time. And that's not much we can do about. It's just how fast internet is going over the network globally. Unfortunately, it's going from Italy to somewhere else around the world, and then back to somewhere in Europe where our boss is, and then out to wherever you are. So there's a bit of gap. Yeah, it is lap 12 right now, and we're in the timing board is showing lap 11 at the moment. Boss, you may want to try and refresh the timing chart. That'll give us, we're down for 15 seconds, but I think we're behind. I think we've got a gap. Happened to Lawson. He started 18th. Didn't qualify well. Lawson also pitted, but he was already at back of the grid already. So he was on a soft. He was on 9. He did line up on a soft tire. He's now moved to a hard tire. Not going for no stops, a single stop. Yes, this is Monza. Of course, the RB21 is fast today. There's only 6 corners here, and the thing doesn't like to do is turn. Well, that's brutal. Wait, what happened to Hulkenberg? Hulkenberg retired. He did not start. On the formation lap, he was told to come into the pits to retire the car. Yeah. So Oscar Turtle, we're watching a race in Italy, hearing someone from the United States from our couch. A bit of lag is fine. Yeah. But not that bad. It's not that bad. Um, it's been weird. I've actually had our stream um, faster than F1 TV at times. Why is it Max absolutely gapping Norris? It's basically because Norris is letting him get away with it. It's more. This is more about tire management right now than anything else. And again, 3.7 is not that bad. You know, he can get. He will grow. But at some point, Max's tires are going to degrade faster because he's pushing. You know, because he's doing that extra 3/10 on Norris. His tires are going to degrade faster, and there's going to be a point where Norris will start catching up because his tires are just going to be in a better place than Max's. So interval is the change of, so when we talk about delta, it means the difference between A and B. So the interval is the delta between one driver to the next. The gap is the delta between the first driver, which is Max right now, to whoever we're talking about. So again, Norris is interval and gap going to be the same thing because it's 1 to 2. But for Norris and Oscar, the interval is the difference between their times, and the gap is basically from Oscar to back to P1 Max. Getting some lap times deleted from race control. Again, Lawson has deleted. He started on a different strategy with soft tires. He went 9 laps on those softs and then went to the hards. He's now in clean air right now in the back of the grid. Again, Hulkenberg did not start. He basically retired before the race began. And I don't know what exactly the reason was. There was something wrong with the car that they had to bring him in right away. Scott starts asking how long a pit stop here. I'm actually don't know that figure. I always typically think it's about like 20 seconds, but I don't know the actual figure for the pit delta. Yeah, how much he lose? That's what he's talking about, Varel. What's happened to Hamilton? Hamilton's up 4 positions. He's in P6 right now. Again, he's gone 14 laps on those medium tires, so we're now at the end of what you would expect of the operating window. We're getting into potential pit windows with those medium tires. Again, the only one who has pitted so far has been Lawson, but he started on a soft tire. Russell tires must be getting cooked. No, I mean they've all been on 15 laps effectively on those medium tires from P1 through P12 effectively. So things as we get into the pit window, things to keep an eye on is that Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Isaac are gonna get. They're gonna move up in on the board just by the sheer fact that they are on hard tires. Um, Gasly will also move up on the board because he's on a hard tire. They are definitely going to pit later with those tires. Lawson will likely have to pit again. Well, that depends how well he conserves those tires. He could be a tire whisperer and go to the rest of the race on that hard. It is possible. Sure that now's a great time to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you hit the bell on YouTube when you subscribe, you'll get notifications when we go live. When you follow on Twitch, if you've got your settings set up correctly, you'll get notifications as well there. We go live for every session, whether it is the practices, the sprint races, sprint quali, and the race itself. And again, next year when we start the season up again, we will be covering preseason testing when it is covered on F1 TV. We know that there is a testing next year. The first testing next year, as I understand, won't be televised at F1 TV, but I believe the next two will be. So these are essentially 3 days, 8 hours each of cars on track, basically. I think Max should pit 1 lap after Norris because Norris might come out in traffic. Yeah, basically, I mean, Lawson right now is potentially on hards to the end of the race. It's a potential strategy. So we'll see how long those hard tires hold out. Has been hammer time for Hamilton. He is up 4 positions. Started P10, he's now P6. Antonelli's dropped 4 positions, so they've almost effectively switched places. The other mover is Gasly up 2 positions and Isaac up 3 positions. Everyone else has moved up. Sainz, Albon, Ocon, Stroll, all a beneficiary of the fact that Hulkenberg retired. Yeah, Max is putting in fastest lap, so he is pushing on those tires. He's pushing for an advantage on Norris right now, which means he's pushing on his tires. This is also Sainz failed to use the escape road. See if they'll do anything about that. Why is Lawson so behind? Because he pitted already, and Bierman is in. A 3.3 stop for Bierman, which is okay. It's not great. Could be better. Why Hulkenberg stopped? Hulkenberg retired because he basically there's something wrong with his car, and he went out on the formation lap and came right. It was told to retire the car right away. So Max has pushed past 5 seconds, 5.2 right now. So he has done another fastest lap, 122.727. Norris is about 4/10, almost 5/10 behind him in that regard. So Max is pushing. We should be noticed that he is pushing right now. So he's using up his tires where he can. So, and here comes the Red Bulls. Who's coming in? Red Bull is getting in, and they're telling Tsunoda to box. And it looks like they're going to box Tsunoda for soft tires, it looks like. So Red Bull is pulling in Yuki to pit early. To be one of the first in the main group to pit. Again, Bierman basically he was on a medium tire for 18 and he's gone to a hard. Keep an eye. So they were told Yuki to pit. He's coming around the turn right now. Did I miss the pit? Looking at Gasly right now. What is Pierre up to? Pierre went off track and hit some of the gravel. He did make a cloud. There's a little bit on the racing line, but it's not across the track. So we got more pits right now. Alonso's a 3.2 stop. Bortoletto is a 4-second stop. Ugh. Not a good stop for Bortoletto. Stream is fine, everyone. It is a lap behind. But that is, again, we're bouncing around. Yeah, we don't keep it relevant to motorsports, everyone. Which one of these radios? I mean, that's what it may have frozen, but that is ultimately a question with the service we're using. Again, what again? That is service through multi-viewer effectively. So we are seeing the first rounds of people pitting right now. So Alonso getting ahead of Bortolello out of the pits. Why did he go out? There was a engine issue. Has Max boxed yet? No, Max has not boxed yet. He's gone 20 laps on those medium tires, and he's still pushing on Lando. So the last lap, the gap has been smaller. It's 5.8 seconds now. Last lap was a 22.9, whereas they're coming around the line now. So the gap is gotten smaller between Lando and Norris. But there was a few laps ago, the gap was like 4/10 bigger. Coffee, what did I miss? I just joined. You are basically you missed that. Basically, you missed really 4 laps of basically good racing action between Max and Norris and Oscar and Leclerc. There were some other challenges as well. Hamilton moved up 4 spots already. Antonelli's moved up. He's gotten ahead. Again, I think that's through pit shenanigans. He's moved up to 7th right now. Sainz Albon up more again. Sainz Albon out of control. Yeah, okay. These are all beneficiaries of people pitting. Isaac up 7 positions. Again, that's a pit. Again, we got to keep an eye on Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Isaac, because they are on hard tires. They're going to get a beneficiary of being on those hard tires. They're going to go longer. Gap is now 6.1 seconds to Norris, and another 6 seconds back to Oscar. And then Leclerc is 17 seconds back. So it's effectively Max has almost got a free pit stop on Leclerc, Russell, and Hamilton. Hamilton's 21 seconds back. So if Max were to pit right now, he might come in. Worst case scenario would come in behind Hamilton. Probably be ahead of Antonelli. Over 10,000 you're watching right now here on YouTube right now. We got a good number on Twitch as well, and we're growing on that platform. Those who are on TikTok, thank you so much as well. And those who are watching on Facebook, thank you as well. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel. We are on lap 24. The stream right now is a lap behind, so it's on 23 at the moment with 31 left. There is a lot of lag this weekend, it looks like. We're not the only stream having lag issues, though. Having said that, our lag issues seem to be smaller than everyone else's, it seems, from what you guys have been reporting in chat. So thank you. How likely is Verstappen going to win? I mean, he's still likely to win right now. He's leading. Max has the advantage right now. It's going to take a bad pit stop or something else to dislodge that. And then, of course, there's also a moment where Lando might be charging on his tires at the moment before he pits. So that 6.1, 6.2 gap right now could get smaller if Lando just makes a charge, and he could again. One of the things I'm thinking is that ultimately, basically, I think is Lando might charge just before he pits to close up some of that gap. How likely is Georgia will overtake Leclerc? Right now, Russell is 3 seconds off of Leclerc, so right now, not likely at the moment. It's more question, will Hamilton overtake Russell is the better question. No safety car. Ooh. We just had one of the Aston Martins spark up. Alonso in the garage. Oh, pain strikes again. Ooh. Suspension. Yeah, that would be a suspension. So what we just saw on the stream is basically Alonso basically is back, the back of his car go up in tons of sparks, and that's indication of something dragging on the track. So it looks like Alonso has come into the pits. He could be out of the race. HWD71, anyone going for a zero stop strategy? No, they have to stop. They have to do at least one pit stop because they're required to use two compounds. So everyone except for Lawson is right now on that one stop strategy. It is either a medium hard strategy or a hard medium strategy that they're going. If they push the hard tires long enough, they might be able to go from a hard to a soft. I'm thinking plan A for so F1 TV is saying the pit window for the mediums look like is 22 to 28. That is interesting. Yeah, live radio is not operating at the moment, so just don't worry about it right now. That is unfortunate. Alonso's suspension failure, yeah, that is unfortunate. Sainz is under investigation. Ocon still has a penalty, 5-second penalty, yet to be served. Sainz says that his tires are dead in traffic. Saying. Yeah, a lot of Alonso fans. That's unfortunate that he is effectively out. Russell coming into the pit, so one of the top 5 runners right now coming in. His stop is a 2.9, which is okay. Not an excellent start, but not a horrible hit. How could get a penalty? He pushed Stroll off the track. Effectively, is how he gained his penalty. We are on lap 27 with 27 laps to go, effectively. Those who are watching F1 TV F1 TV stream is about a lap ahead of our stream. So far we've had 2 retirements. They are showing Sonoda, and I think that is Lawson fighting for whatever reason. Sonoda gets ahead of Lawson. Lawson acts squirrely. He's going to pull ahead. He's pulled ahead. Again, 2 retirements. The first retirement was Hulkenberg, who did not start the race, unfortunately. Antonelli does a 2.9 stop, so at least Mercedes are consistent with their pit stops. Alonso was our second retirement, and basically the suspension gave out, and when it did, it basically the back end of the car started dragging on the circuit to an effect of a wonderful view of sparks. So that alone is likely. What's the? So Stewart's a reprimand driving for Sainz for failing to follow the race director instructions on the escape road. So they're basically saying that there was no advantage gained by not using the escape road. Umbrella saying Lawson replied by Ovid Lindblad and Yuki or to Red Bull or Reserve and Hazard Red Bull 2026. I don't think Lawson's going to get replaced by Lindblad. I think the more likely scenario is that Yuki is gone next year. Because now you gotta understand, Yuki is a Honda driver, and this is the last year with Honda with Red Bull. And the suspicion is that Honda paid a good amount of money for Yuki to be in the Red Bull car. Now that's what people suspect. Antonelli's got black and white flag. That's a sportsman's penalty, and that's for track limits. What do I mean by recommend? Basically, it was basically you were taken to the steward's room and they were told you've been a bad boy. Basically, they decided that yes, he has done something wrong, but they're not going to apply a penalty to it. But I think Yuki is gone by the end of this. But at the end of this year, Yuki will be gone. I think they will promote Isaac, despite that's not probably the best interest of Isaac. And then Lindblad moves up into the Racing Bulls effectively. How long are Hards going to go? I could see them going into 35-ish laps, so another 7 to 10 to 15, maybe more laps. They could get into to late 30s, early, up to 40 laps if they're maintaining them well. And it's a 3-second stop for Sainz, so that's not a bad stop. Again, yes, we are the stream that you guys are seeing is about 1 lap behind what F1 TV is showing right now. What happens to Noda? He pitted and then fought with Lawson. He is on the back end of people. Effectively, Anthony Behrman has done an undercut on him effectively at this point. Of our front runners, basically Russell is 11th, but he's the one in that first running category. So the fact Gasly's behind Russell is not a good sign. Again, you'll see that Ocon, Stroll, and Isaac right now will get advantage. So is Albon will get an advantage on everyone else because they're on those hard tires if they use those hard tires effectively. Here comes Sainz into the pits. Look at what you guys are saying in chat right now. The tires are going to explode. No, they're not going to explode. They're fine. Safety car for more interesting? I don't think so. We don't need a safety car to make this interesting. It is interesting as it is right now. I mean, this is a sit back and relax moment. Watch and observe what's going on. Again, right now, Norris has stabilized behind Max. So it's a 6.2 gap, and they're both on medium tires. They've gone effectively 32 laps on those medium tires. They've gone more, about 2/3. No, about 60% of this race on those medium tires already. So, I mean, we're only at 22 laps, 23, 21 laps to go in this race. If they keep pushing on those medium tires, they could effectively do a medium soft strategy. Now, we only see Lawson go 9 laps on the soft, but I think they could go 15 on those soft tires if they do it correctly. Here comes Leclerc into box. Well, they pit for hards. I don't think they might if they go another 7 laps, they get to 35, 36, 38 laps on those mediums. They're going to go for softs. So Charles has gone for hards. Charles has pitted and he's gone to hard tires. So this is the window where the strategy is medium to hard. But if they push that another 5, 6 laps, we could go from a medium to soft strategy. Are leaders waiting for a safety car? That is something that at this point their tires are stable as they feel like that's what it looks like. Their tires are stable. I mean, if a safety car were to come now, they would take advantage of it. And they would go out on effectively hard tires, I would expect. Isaac pitting right now. He did 33 laps on those hard tires. And he's going on to that medium tire, which is expected. Yeah, broadcast is still a lap down. That's nothing we can really affect right now. It is what it is. Somehow F1 TV is broadcasting faster than expected. It was weird. The F1 TV was a minute faster on a lot of things today. Why is there so much lag? It's just the internet, dude. F1 TV is F1 TV's been weird today. They've been, again, when they did the national anthem, it was a minute faster sooner than I expected. And Charles having to brake hard. And they go to, I think, yeah, Charles went to the hard tire. So we've got 20 laps to go. Trying to see, we're losing a little more time. They're on lap 36 now 35. So there is 18 laps to go in this race. No, Reb, we can't go to medium because they have to use 2 different compounds. So they got to do, if they started on medium, they got to go either hard or softs. And if they went on the hard, they need to go to soft or mediums. Right now, we're in, those who are on the hard tires are going to mediums, and those who started on mediums are going to hards. But if we go another, again, 4 laps, then the strategy becomes go to soft tires to the end of the race. And that would make that a really dynamic end of the race if that's the case. Let's say Norris goes on to soft tires and Matt goes on medium. That will make this race very explosive. Total lunar eclipse after the race. It's a $5 donation, U.S. donation. Blame the full moon if your favorite driver had a bad result. Alonso and Hulkenberg fans, there you go. There's your excuse already. David, that's such an arbitrary rule. They must mix tire company. Yeah, but that is the regulations. The only time when that rule gets that's not applies is when it's a wet race. They can stay on intermediates for the whole race. Soft can only work the last 10 laps. Landon will lose if he chooses. Well, we're also talking about that he goes maybe another 7 to 8 laps. so that he can get to where those softs will be effective. Is this a game or the official race? It's an official race, an actual race we're doing right now. Again, we are covering the F1 race right now. We do cover all the other sessions, whether it's race, practice, or quali, or sprint race. We cover those as well. Again, this is the Race Ticket channel, and this is our coverage of the Italian Grand Prix. There are 18 laps left to go in this race. Right now, they're on lap 37 of 53 on the stream. So their stream is ahead by a lap. And here is Max coming into pits. And he goes to a hard tire. And it's a 2.3 stop for Max. That's a good stop. Ooh, that's a good stop. That's a good stop for Max. That's Red Bull's one of the strengths. Norris is our new race leader, but that is by virtue of the fact Max has pitted. Question is, when are the other leaders going to pit? When is Norris, Oscar, and Hamilton? Hamilton has gotten ahead. That is basically on the virtue of Leclerc having pitted. Hamilton has gotten ahead of Albon. So Hamilton right now is P4 on the grid. Actually, I should say that Hamilton has gotten 2 spots by virtue of the fact that Leclerc and Russell pitted. Wait, Max had Max was on mediums already. So Max went to mediums to hard tires. And Max had a 2.3 pit stop time, which is awesome. No, don't give out hope just yet. I mean, anything could happen. I mean, we saw Lando have a mechanical failure, last week. So. Yeah, guys, you're welcome to ask questions. If you do put tag me at Gashareza in chat, it'll highlight me. Hamilton in for pits right now. Hamilton stop time. Are they going to show it? 2.1 stop time for Hamilton. That's awesome. That's an awesome pit time for Hamilton. So Hamilton's going to drop in a few moments. That's going to leave Norris. Let's see. So I'm going to delay for you guys so we're more in line with what you guys are seeing with the stream. Looking at what was max pit time? It was a 2.3 stop for Max, which was very good. So Statistic's telling us pit time is 24 seconds plus the tire change. Thank you. Gasly has a black and white flag for track limits. Okay. There we go. So I should be in sync with the stream better right now. Leclerc not going to pit. They've got an advantage right now that they can use. Right now, the gap for the Max is 18 seconds. We'll see. We'll see if that gap starts to collapse. McLaren will pull. Will definitely pull Norris and Oscar in. Max last lap again was an out lap, so we'll wait. Max did the fastest lap of 121.4, and Oscar's last lap was a 122.4. So a second gain on Oscar, and almost another second and 0.2 on Norris. So the gap is starting to collapse a little bit. So we'll see if they pit anytime soon. They're going to pat lap 45. If they do, then they're going for soft tires, which would be crazy. So it just landed. High ID again, Mad Max. Max for the win. Right now, Max is still virtually ahead of those two based on pit strategy, and he's already gained a second on them on this lap effectively. Gap was 18 seconds a few moments ago. It's now just under 17 seconds. So, is Lando pitting? No, Lando's not pitting. Is Oscar pitting? Oscar's not pitting on lap 41. So they're going further on those medium tires. 13 laps to go in this race. Here comes Max. We have a yellow flag. There was an incident. What just happened? Oh, and it is Sainz and Behrman. Sainz and Behrman just had a collision on track. We are under a yellow flag. They've gotten back on track, but they are, yeah. Again, they're back markers at the moment. Behrman is 15th, Sainz is 14th. They just had a collision between those two. Will be noted by race control at some point. Yeah, we've got Albon on 40 laps on a hard, Ocon 40 laps on a hard, Stroll 40 laps on a hard, Gasly 40 laps on a hard. But the two weird ones are Norris and Oscar 40 laps on a medium. That's crazy that they've managed to maintain on a medium. They are losing time though. Max has gained. Oh wow, Max has gained is 15 seconds behind. So Max has gained 3 seconds on the McLarens already. So this is actually not a good strategy. They should have pitted earlier, much earlier. Why does Lewis pit again? Lewis hasn't pitted again. Lewis has just recently pitted for hard tires. So you must be seeing him pitting now. And they're showing the stuff between Behrman and Sainz is being replayed on F1 TV at the moment. Yeah, Max is now just another second, 4.1. This was a blunder. This was a blunder on McLaren's. Max has gained 4 seconds on the McLarens. He was 18 seconds back after he pitted. He's now 14 seconds back. He's under 14. Norris and Oscar coming around. They need to pit. No, McLaren hasn't. No, McLaren's not too fast. They're actually slow right now. They're seconds. They're over a second slow behind Max. Oh my God, Norris and Oscar not pitting. Are they going for the medium? They must be going for the medium soft strategy. So we got 11 laps left to go. Hoping for a safety car. I mean, that's one place to go, but they may be going for a medium soft strategy where they need to go another 1 or 2 more laps to effectively get onto those soft tires. So right now, Max has gained another 3/4 of a second on them. Right now, Colapino is between the McLarens. That's because he's been lapped by Norris. He's about to be lapped by Oscar, so he'll be starting to get blue flags. And turn 5 is between Behrman and Sainz under investigation, causing a collision. See how they rule on that. It's going to be pretty. If McLaren didn't pit, would they be disqualified? Yes, they would be disqualified. You have to pit for another compound. And to be honest with you, if they don't pit for another compound soon, Max is probably going to catch up to him and pass him on track. So, no, Colapino's not keeping up with Norris. He is behind Norris by a whole lap. He is a lap down, and he has to let Norris pass him. And soon he's going to have to let Oscar pass him as well. So it's just a matter of time before he gets put behind. Again, right now, the McLarens have to pit, and Max is now 12 seconds behind. He's now gained 6 seconds since his pit. Guys, stop repeating the same thing over and over. I know you guys are cheering for particular drivers, but just saying the same thing over and over is just spamming chat. I gotta take you to task. Max is now under 12 seconds. He's 11.3 seconds back. It's another second since I last looked. And that's going to be that's the race right now. Is that McLaren did not pit. So the question is, will Norris pit? He is not pitting. 9 laps ago. Oscar is not pitting with 9 laps to go. Here comes Max. Yeah, the F1 cars do have to pit. They have to use 2 different compounds during the race. And right now we're looking at Norris, Oscar, Ocon, Stroll, Gasly all have not pitted yet with 9 laps left to go. So they've gone. So in case of Norris and Oscar, it's medium tires to effectively what will probably be a soft tire. And here comes the McLarens. They're getting set up now. And whereas Stroll, Ocon, and Gasly will be likely a hard to, and it's Oscar who pits first. Oh, that's interesting. Oscar it is a medium to soft strategy, everyone. Medium to soft strategy. Oscar's going to be out there first on that soft tire. That will give Lando an extra lap on those medium tires. McLarens are going to be on softs. Yeah, McLarens are going to be on softs. This is going to get interesting. Antonelli Albon incident, forcing a driver off the track. Again, Behrman noted for track limits. Looking right now. Delay is crazy today. Yeah, and it's not much we can do about it. We are losing. Something's going on with the and even I've stopped my stream for a little bit to get in sync, and I'm still losing out of sync. So there's something going on today with what's going on. Not much we can do about it. This is how the internet works, unfortunately. I want to thank the 14,500 those watching right now. We got over 1,600, almost 1,700. So, yeah, 1,700 likes so far on YouTube. Thank you so much. Over 100 of you are on Twitch chat. Thank you so much. Again, now's a great time to like and subscribe as we go in. Lando pitting right now. So Oscar's going to get ahead of Lando based on pit order. Pause my stream a little bit more to get back into sync with the stream. Again, something's weird going on the internet today, so. And here we go. So here is Lando pitting right now. And that's going to give, again, Max the lead based on those pit order. What the hell? Oh, they screwed up Lando's pit. Oh my God. Lando just got a horrible pit. They just fumbled Lando's chances at stuff. So that means that now Oscar is now 18 seconds behind Max, and Norris is now 19 seconds behind Max. They've got 7 laps to make up that time on those soft tires, and they're used soft tires. They're used soft tires. They're used. They scrubbed. I know Norris is 1 lap scrubbed. I think 45. Yeah, I think they're 1 or 2 laps scrubbed used. Oh, they're not fresh. They're not fresh softs. Oh man. Yeah, that pit stop basically. Yeah. They're telling Max he's done all the hard work at this point. I mean, he's on hards. He can push as fast as he can on those hards. He's got the advantage of time over those soft tires. We've got 6 laps to go. Leclerc is in that window with the McLarens. He's only 22 seconds back. And he's on hard tires, so we'll see what happens. Soft tires are good. Well, soft tires basically means that they can push harder, faster, and they can get faster speed. So basically, the McLarens right now are effectively their cars are weighted like they're in qualification, as opposed to the beginning of the race where they're weighted down with fuel. So in theory, they should be getting fastest laps, and Oscar just did with a 121.245. Orlando is about a tenth and a half behind Norris, but though he hasn't just started on his soft tires. Having said that, Max is only half a tenth fast behind Oscar, so we need to see significant gains from the McLarens in these next few laps, or it's over. And it may be over already. This race may have been won by the fact that McLaren tried the medium soft strategy, and Max went with the medium hard strategy, for 5-7 laps. He again gained literally 6 seconds on the McLarens. When he went onto his hard, he did effectively a massive undercut on them. Why is it so apt? It's 50. Yeah, it is what it is right now. Again, I am right now trying to stay with where the stream is, our stream is. So I'm behind on my F1 TV stream for that reason. Again, internet's acting weird today, so just roll with it, everyone. We've got 5 laps to go. Really more like I've got another delay. It's really 53 if 50. I've got 3 laps to go on my stream. Yeah. Again, right, Norris has passed Oscar. Trying to see right now. We're on, again, I'm only a lap behind at the moment. But ultimately, again, we're looking at Max with a 19 gap. So Max has this in the bag. Only thing that's left for Max to do is to just bring this home with these last laps. Norris has passed Oscar. That will cut down on Oscar's lead on Norris, but that's not going to be a big deal. Again, last week, uh, Oscar took 25 points on Oscar. Sorry, I mean Oscar took 25 points on Lando, I should say. So yeah, but it's no big deal for Team Warrior for Norris to pass. And also, Norris is on younger tires than Oscar, so it makes sense to put Norris ahead of Oscar. Leclerc is going to be P4 right now, Russell P5, and Hamilton P6. So again, looking at any places where Isaac and Sainz might battle it out. So we've got a few places left to go in the backfield. But this is our race pretty much as it is. Here we go. For me right now, they are on the penultimate lap right now on my stream. Five-second penalty for Kimi. Why? Didn't see race control say that just yet. What happened to Stroll? Stroll waited till lap 50 to pit. Gasly waited to lap 49 to pit. Ocon still has to pit, as it still stands. He's probably going to do a last lap pit and finish the race. Take a look at wait blue flag for Colpino. That's he's behind. It's Ocon right now who has not. I don't see him as having pitted. What is going on with him? So we'll keep an eye on him right now. And I know for a lot of you, the race has already ended. I'm right now behind with the stream. Those who are watching F1 TV, the race, you're up to date. Race has ended. But right now, I think the story right now is what's going to happen with what is Ocon doing. Yeah, 2 laps to go. Is pitting. He does not pit. He gets nope. Ocon is going to pit. Okay, so Ocon's going to pit on lap 51 effectively. 51, 52. Why is Max leading with such a gap, joined late? Because he charged, when Max pitted, he charged on his hard tires and got 6 seconds on the McLarens. And that pretty much sealed the race for Max at that point. We needed McLaren to make a charge on Red Bull, and Red Bull did make a charge on the McLarens at the end of the race. Why the heck does Ocon go? Because he has to. I'm surprised they didn't bring him on the very last lap for the hell of it and do effectively a Schumacher last lap pit. Though I think they may have ruled that out. No, Lando had a bad pit. Lando had a very bad pit. He came in and one of his tires. Ooh, 5 seconds penalty for Antonelli driving it erratically. That will be issued at the end of the race. That will drop him out of. Will it drop him out of points? Might drop him out of the points. It depends where Isaac goes. No, he'll drop Antonelli behind Bortolao, but not Isaac. One of the most boring races. No, this was not boring. If you guys thought this was boring, I can understand that because there was a lack of overtaking at the end of the race, and I can fully understand that. But there was a lot of strategy and there was a lot of technical going on that I do enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I like more overtaking action? Yes, I do. But that is where F1 is right now. Again, come back. If you are really not liking the racing right now, part of that is that it's really tight racing. We are going to get a rule change in next year, and that will shake things up. So. And this has been Grash with you right now. Oh, wow. The stream time just jumped dramatically with the end of the race. So I want to thank everyone who came. We had a good number in Twitch, good number in YouTube. I want to thank everyone who showed up. I want to thank whether you were here on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, or on demand after the fact. This has been Grash. This has been our coverage for the Italian Grand Prix. We will be back on September 19th for Free Practice 1 for Azerbaijan. Yeah, it's Azerbaijan and then to Singapore. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the times are going to get worse for me. I think Azerbaijan is 3:30 in the morning. You wonder why I start the stream. It's talking if it's the dead of night. Yeah, it's going to be dead of night for me in Azerbaijan for Free Practice 1. So Ugh. Anyways, we'll see you in 2 weeks. For those who are in the United States, it's football here in the United States. Hooray! I'm a New England Patriots fan. Oh no, it's the first game of the uh, Mike Vrabel era, so it's going to be interesting. Anyone else? How do you determine who becomes the F1 world champion? It's by points. So when you win a race, it's 25 points. It's 18 for second. I believe it's 12 for third, and it drops down by positions. Actually, I think it's 15, then 12. So you earn points based on your position. Top 10 earn points. So Isaac here earned 1 point. Antonelli earned 2. Boyle earned 3, I believe. I'll have to go back and look at the chart. But basically, based on 1 through 10, you earn points. The sprint race is also where you can earn points. Winning the sprint race is 8 points, all the way down to P8 is 1 point. And basically, who has the most points at the end of the season is the world champion. The constructor is determined by the points earned by the team. So right now, McLaren is way above everyone else in terms of constructor points. In fact, if you add together Mercedes and Ferrari's points, they're P2, P3 effectively. McLaren's more points than both of them combined. So again, this has been our coverage of the Italian Grand Prix. This has been Grash. I will see you all again on the 19th for Abidjan pre-practice. And I will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Have a good time. Take care.